Canceling shows. Justin Bieber, of course, canceled all of his shows. Have you guys canceled shows along the way? I mean, in all of your years, Fall Out Boy out on the road?
Well, I think we haven't canceled shows, but we've like missed things before, not on purpose. Like I think canceling is a tough thing to do, but at the same time, I'm like, if you've been on tour for 13 months or whatever he has, like I think that if you're doing something for your own mental health, I think that's super important. Like the thing that John Mayer said about it, I think is really important.
What did he say again?
I think he just said that like the amount of people that we've lost, if somebody needs to, like, the last thing you're going to do is like pull out of, it's not easy to pull out of shows, and I would assume it's really not easy to pull out of like stadium shows. So the last thing, you're not doing it because you're just like, well, I want to go like sit on a jet ski or something like that. Like it's like, I think that there's something deeper in that, and so he just said that like you give somebody like a mulligan, you let them, because the idea that otherwise the person is maybe burning out. Right. I think that's important to do.
Talk about that, Pete. Being on the road, it looks very difficult to me. I don't know if I could handle it, but from your perspective, being on the road for such a long period of time, city to city to city, buses, planes, everything, hotel rooms, what is that really like, and what can that do to you as a performer?
I think it gets monotonous, like because lots of times you're not really seeing, like you're in Japan, but you're not really seeing it, so like you're like what you just said, you're seeing like backstages, you're seeing hotels, and you're busting. It's like not really, you're so transient, you're not part of something, like living out of a suitcase is like maybe glamorous when you think about it for the first like 6 months or a year or something, but there's something about like you're just not, there's nothing permanent to what you're doing, like it's hard to like kind of have roots and feel.
So you're not tethered to anything of any importance.
And you can get kind of like lost from it.
You get lonely on the road, even though you're with the same people every day.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because it's so easy to like just click into a routine, and that can be a good thing. But for me, I really had to like realize like, hey man, you're in Tokyo, go out and walk around. You're in like South Africa, go out. You have to force yourself kind of to do it.
Wow.
And also, I would imagine that it's not just that you're going on tour, you're waking up, you get to perform, and then you go to sleep. I mean, you have to do so much work when you get to these cities. You're doing these radio tours, you're doing meet and greets, you're doing, you're shaking hands and kissing babies with different people that you need to do to make the album go where it needs to go. So there's a lot more than just performing that happens every day.
How many babies have you kissed? Does this seem creepy?
I mean, and the thing that I always have to take away is that, like, while this is like night 150 for us of doing it, like this is like these people who are coming out, like this is the one, maybe like the one night, like they're cutting loose and they get to go to the thing, and so it's like a really important moment, and like to not kind of like lose, like that's for me is like you don't want to like lose the thought of that, like because you can just kind of be like, go through the motions.